Okay,
Okay, so
welcome to the Java program class for the HND 66 batch. We are doing an online
six,
session
yes.
because there was an emergency situation, so we were unable to do the class physically for today. But that is the arrangement why we are doing the class online mode, definitely. But anyways, the session is getting recorded. After the session, you can have it, no problem. Having said that, let me quickly start the session with giving you a small recap of what we did in the previous class. Along with that, I'm going to do the lessons. Forward, right? Okay. Mm, Let me create a new project here. Right, new project. So let's call this one as HND 66. Code in font, I will make it increased. Okay, Akhila. This
Okay,
one is fine. Um, So I will create my first program from the previous class itself. I'm going to create something called account. I'll tell you why. Right, our program is there. This font size is okay. You can read neither.
okay, sir.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Um, so student, this is like this, Akila. Now, when we have object-oriented programming, in the object-oriented programming, we basically learned what is it. What is object-oriented programming? I told you that around us there are so many objects and their interactions in the real world. That is how you see the world around us. You try to mimic this, or you try to make a what do you call, make a model out of the actual world around you using software. That kind of a technique is known as object-oriented programming. When we try to do this one, mainly what we need to know is we need to know uh, what is an object. So we need to know that. So we did this one. uh, Object is a self-contained software unit which consists of data and method, plus it has a unique identity. The um, data will tell what the object is, in other words the characteristics of the object, and the methods tells what the object can do, or the behaviors of the object. That is what is called the methods, data and methods. So together data and methods will be there in any object that you take. So how sorry if you ask how to create objects, right? So uh, the term for that is using a class. Classes are also known as factory of objects or manufacturer. Anyways, the object oriented term for this one is called the classes or class. Using classes we can create objects, right? um, we know that
Yes.
an object has data and methods. The necessary data and the necessary methods, first of all we have to include them inside the classes, so that we can make use of those data and methods to create the objects when you want later, because the object is full of data and methods, that's why. Okay. Apart from that, when you talk about this one, um, I think after that, how to create classes we started learning. That is the place where I was starting to teach you how to create the class like this, isn't it, Takle? Right.
Right.
Okay, so when you want to create a class in of course in object oriented programming, we know how to create programs in Java, but when you want to create a class in Java, what you basically use is you use the term class, and after the word class you give a name of the program or the name of the class that you want to create. Now if you take a class, now we're going to have a, it's just a typical uh, bank account. So this is a just normal bank account. That is what we are working on this one. We have to have the data as well as we have to have the methods. we have to have these both kind of things, right? So when you want to create the data, you will create the data. For the discussion purpose, we will create it simple. We already did this one last week, so no need to do it detailedly. Account number, name, address. So these three data, I'm taking them in string type, and I'll take the balance, bank balance, in float data type. So this is the basic idea of the what do you call the data items. And inside a class, you can have different types of methods. One is Akila, you can have constructors.
Yes.
Constructors you can have, and you can have setters, and you can have getters. These are the basically we put methods inside a class. Later when you create the objects using these getters and setters, you can make the object function, or in other words, you can get the work out of other objects or object using these methods. So that is the basic idea of having the methods inside the programs. Okay, having said that, because we are using the NetBeans software, Akila, last week I was coding my data and
Sure.
my methods. Today I will show you. You can use what do you call the NetBeans itself to auto generate your getters and setters. The key combination is you have to hold the Alt key on the keyboard and press the Insert key on the keyboard. Alt and Insert. Right. So these two keywords.
Insert.
So we can get the we can get these things auto generated. Okay. Apart from that, now I'm going to press my Alt key and Insert key. Sorry, I can't increase the font size of this, but I think you can see. Well, Akila, you are from a laptop or you are from your mobile phone?
PC, sir.
Right. Then it's fonts you can see well.
Yes, sir.
Then Akila, now what we do is you can see the constructor only. Do you want a logger, a getter, setter, or getters and setters? What do you want? Like, so it is asking what do you want to create. I'm going to create getters and setters. Or first we'll get the constructor. So we didn't do constructors last week. We did neither. I think we did the constructors as well. So constructor means by the time when you are creating the object, when you are creating your class or the object, this is a special method, Akila, right? So special method means it doesn't have much details. Now if you take a look at this one, a constructor method has the name of the class name. Same name as the class name will be taken for the constructor method, and the constructor method will not have any return type. And when we write ordinary methods, we know we can write void methods. Void methods means that method doesn't return a value. We learnt it. Can you remember?
Yes.
Therefore,
Yes,
when you want to write a constructor method, even though the constructor, this one is not returning a value back, even though it is not returning a value back, you should not write void here or any other data type. You are not allowed to type these kind of things. So if you write like this is not going to be a constructor method. This is going to be an ordinary method. Okay. So please make sure you do not use the void or any other things. So you just need to use only the keyword public, or even without the public you can use it. For the simplicity, I'm using just private here. And inside this one, Akhil, if you take a look at it, within the parentheses, now usually we supply the parameters of the program. We supply the what this method accepts the value in order to do the work. Now if you take this particular method, constructor method, what it does is it takes 1, 2, 3 string values, which are account number, name, and address.
Name, address.
Yeah, and you can see all these things are in black color. These parts are in black color. And here you can see we are accepting the balance value as well, float balance value as well. Which means what we're going to do is I think Akila, my webcam is on, my Precis fan is going very heavily rotating. So if necessary, time to time I'll switch on my video. Okay. Okay. I think
Okay, sir.
my voice and this screenshot is enough for you to follow, ne, Buddha?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Then further speaking, you can see right. You can see there are 4 parameters we try to supply to this method: string, 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 and a float. What we will do next is we will be doing something like this. Inside the method you can write coding. So what the method should do, normally if you write a method to do some work, you can write the method to do the work. Now in this program, you can see the program is starting here in line number 2, and we have 4 data here. One is account number, name, address, and balance, and you can see all these data items are displayed in green color. The reason for that is it is created inside the class but outside all the methods. Inside the class, outside all the methods. Therefore, these data items are accessible for all the methods, right? Okay. Akila, is my
Yes,
voice is clear enough?
yes, sir.
Okay. Um, so these data items are there. Now you can see when I was creating the constructor method, I was asking the NetBeans to auto generate the constructor. When the NetBeans auto generated the constructor, these terms automatically the NetBeans it took, okay, account number, name, address, and balance. It took these parameter names, same as my what do you call the data items that I gave here. Can you see that same spellings? So it is not different. um, so you, if you write something like this even without this keyword, now there is a small confusion, like ACCNO is assigned to ACCNO means both are turning into black. That is a small confusion there. So for that reason we have to write this dot, we have to write this dot here. This refers to, at this moment it refers to the entire class, it refers to this particular entire class. Okay, it refers to this class. So that is why in this program ACC number means this ACC number, not this ACC number. So that is what this dot ACC number means. If you are manually coding this one without using ACCNO, you could have typed AN, and here you can type AN. Okay, Akila, so you could have done it like
Okay,
that.
sir.
So because it auto generated the code from the computer, we got these names, but I'm not going to change these things because you know, this is saving time for you. It is just a matter of pressing alt key and insert key, selecting the constructor, and just a matter of that you get
Yes,
around 5-6 lines of these things coded, and the work that you're expecting is getting done there. And you know, this is a simple program with few data items, and when you are working with a real program with real data, where you have data items, if you have around 17 or 20 data items, if you're going to manually do the constructor method, it will take a considerable amount of time. And when humans are typing code in, you know, there can be times where you can make typos, which means typing mistakes, which can cause problems for your program not to function correctly. So that is better that we do it like this. Okay, now let's talk about the getters and setters. Getters and setters means, now when you create objects from this program, when you create the objects from this program, account objects, you will have to access what is the name, what is the address, what is the account number. If you wish, you can change the name, change the address. Account number, of course, we don't change. Balance we can change. Those kind of things we can do. For those reasons, what we can do is we can create getters and setters, right? Getters and setters. So I'm going to create the getters and setters. Alt key and insert key I'm pressing. I'm going to choose getter and setter. So it is asking for what data items do you need getters and setters. I will put address, balance, and name. I will give these 3 things, getters and setters, but account number I'm not going to give a getter as well as setter. I can put a getter only if you want. Now see, when I generate this one, um, so these are it is one getter, one setter, one getter, one setter. It comes like that, not all the setters and things together. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I will put them in a group so it's easy for you. um, Now all the setters are separately and all the getters are separately you have. So it doesn't matter, but code is little bit more organized now. Now if you take a look at
Yes.
this code in Akila, this is not having much of the detail here. It's very simple what it has. Okay.
Okay,
um,
sir.
you can see there's a method here. If you take a look at the method name is, it says set
Set name.
set name. So this is a variable name what we had here. It automatically has nicely taken our variable names and it has auto capitalized the first letter and it has automatically generated these names. That is also we should appreciate, because otherwise we need to create names like this and when we are creating names, that also you have to think and you have to give, that also can take time. Now this is when you want to create the getters and setters automatically. It is saving a lot of time. And if you take a look at these methods, and if you feel like this method name is not meaningful, so I should change it, then of course you can do. For example, let's say set name is not meaningful, you want to say set customer name, you can do that. That is no sorry You can change like this, that is fine. But automatically what comes is also that is meaningful, no problem. I'm going to leave these default values as it is, Akila. And
Yes, sir.
you can see the getters will return the values in the class. So account number, name and address and balance are data items of our program. And when you say get name, it is actually returning this value out. This, what is the name, what is the address and what is the balance. Now this program is up to certain level, this is complete. I'm going to add my own custom methods. So we'll put just
First.
one custom method. We want to display the bank account details. Let's try that one. um, say we'll say show info display details. We can write show info. What you need to put there is, you need to put we can write bank account information. Let's type account number, and here we have to join the account number. You can do like this, Killer, or else you can write uh, get get
Address.
get account number. We didn't code it, so we could have coded the get account number if you want, right? I'm just type ACCNO here now. Then
Yes,
don't
sir.
type S out. Let's say name of the customer. You can put customer name, bank customer name. uh, it becomes a little bit lengthy. Okay, no problem. Name, and we can say address, and here we can put the bank balance. uh, because Akila, we are doing this coding neatly, everything neatly we are doing, because I need to explain the concepts to you properly. Therefore I want a program which is having all the necessary parts in this program. Therefore it will be easy for me to explain the matters to you. Okay. That is why I made the
Yes, sir.
program neat and all the parts available. Right. For the discussion, Akila, this is enough for us now because this is what we did last class also. But it doesn't matter. We can compile this program. Of course, when you want to test this one, you need to have another program to test this. Right. You can see in my HND 5066 folder, the default package, we have just one program, which is account.java program only that you have there. Apart from that, you don't have anything. Well, in that case, what I want to do is I will have to create another program where I can test this account program. Let's do that part. So we'll create another program. We'll say, right, I will call this in as bank. Increase the font size. Then let's add a constructor method here. I'm sorry, not the constructor method. Let's add the main method. We'll create an object from account class. Now when you want to have the account object created, you can have it like this. First of all, you put the name of your program and you give a reference variable like this. Okay, a reference variable like this.
Okay, sir.
So how this is going to work, Puta, inside the computer's memory, I will explain it to you now. So I'll pause the recording here. Just 1 second, please. Okay, we are good. We can continue. So Puta, I have some notes here. This is about again object orientation. If you want, I can share this note. If you really want, I can share. I told you that around
Yes,
138 slides are there. But everything is there as a summary. Object-oriented programming is something that you're not going to learn in the first semester and leave it, right? So because in the other semesters, when you're doing your software engineering degree path, like data structures and algorithm, advanced programming and design patterns, when you do these kind of things, object-oriented principles and these programming skills will be necessary again, right? So this is not something that you're going to just finish in
yes,
the first semester, right? Okay, but the same thing, but different examples being used here. Here I have an animation. Yeah, this is the one. Here, but the same thing, we have the account class. Okay, we have the account class. Now when you want to, now this is what I will be explaining you. Right, so this one is pretty easy to explain. I will explain this matter to you now, right? Watch this. Now when you go here, when you want to create an object, creating an object from the account class requires you to call the constructor method. When you call the constructor method, you can just call the constructor method by using the new keyword. Use the new keyword, put the the constructor method name, open parenthesis. Then what you do is, inside the parenthesis, as usual, or as as required, you need to supply the parameters. Your account class constructor method is accepting. Here you can see the constructor method. It is accepting account number as string, name as string, address as string, and balance as float data type. Then when you want to call this constructor method, you need to supply the parameters in the same order, which means here it is showing required string, 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 float. First value is the number of the account number. Second value is the name. Third one is the address. Fourth one will be the balance. Okay. Now when you type these values, you can see there is no error. There is no error. Only there is a warning because it says new instance ignored. So when you create this new object in the computer's memory, actually there is no way of accessing this back. There is no way you can access it back. The reason for that I will be explaining to you now. Okay. The first thing is you can see here. Where is it? Here, this is the code that I have written. Only the value, these things are different. Number, name, address, and the balance I have given. When you do this one, when you use the new keyword, last week I couldn't explain this one to you. Doesn't matter. When you use the new keyword, in the computer's memory, the memory is reserved like this. Okay, memory will be nicely reserved
Yes.
like this. That is what I have put in that some kind of a dark red or something like the Qatar flag color I have put. So this is what you have here, and that is inside your memory. This particular object is created, and a oval shape like place is reserved. That kind of a memory is taken for the object, and it is reserved by that object. It is occupying that memory. That's what I wanted to tell you. Since an object is a collection of data and methods, you can see the data I have listed here. I didn't include the methods there, but I have included all the data inside the program. You can see this one. The problem here is, Akila, there is no way, there is no method you can access this object. It is created inside the computer's memory in a location. It is created in a memory location, but this memory location is never to be accessed. Okay, so that is why there is a question mark. There is a question mark here. How to refer the object? There is no way you can refer the object, right? Okay, so that is one main problem that we have. uh, in our coding also the same. There's no way you can do it. Therefore, what you have to do is, Pata, when you do this one, okay, we can cut this one. You write account ACC1. Now this is what you have is, this is a reference variable. Now we have this one. Okay, step 1, step 2 we're going to do account ACC1. So when you do this one, when you create this one and then execute, in the computer's memory, memory location will be created like this, and you can see there is a special value called null is stored. You should understand null is a value. It is a literal, it's not a keyword, but null is stored here. Null means nothing. It is not actually referring to an real object. That is why null is stored here. That's what it means. Actually, just keeping this ACC1 with the null value, you cannot do anything. Okay, you cannot do anything because you actually want a real account object so that you can work with it. Right, let's take a look at the second line now. Now we're going to write ACC1 is assigned the value. This value I'm going to give. So as you know, Akila, when you put the equal mark here, when you put the equal sign, right side of the equal sign works first, and once this part is done, everything will be assigned to the left hand side. That's what the equal sign does. So if you take the right hand side, we are creating an object from the account class. That is what we are doing through the new keyword. New keyword is the one which invokes the constructor method, which makes the object inside the computer's memory. So when we create the object in the computer's memory, what we do is we can access it. Right now, just take a look at the animation. What happens now? So when it goes like this, when you call the new keyword and the constructor method, memory is reserved. Then these data items are getting created because the object is a collection of data and items. Instruction by instruction, when the constructor method is running, you can see they are getting created inside the computer's memory like that. I hope you understand it well. Well, now that is how it goes. Akila, you are there, right? Hello, Akila?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you understood up to this point, right, Buddha?
Yes.
Okay. Now what we do next is, when you want to assign this one, see what's going to happen. You can't just bring the whole thing and put it inside this small box. Instead, see, there is a reference is made to that location, and this null value will get replaced with this address. Did you notice that? Earlier it was null, now it is the reference value. That is why we call these things as a reference variable. I hope you understand that well now. Reference variable. By using this reference, you can actually access that particular memory location. Right, this is what the idea is behind. Now what you can do is, I just wanted to explain you this one, that's all. Now what you can do is, hereafter you can write acc1 dot, you can call the methods. Now if you say show info, you will be able to see the details of that account which belongs to the customer. So let's execute the program and see. Shift F6. After the couple of minutes, it will meeting will end with a again join from the same link.
Yes, sir.
So you can see Akila down there, it is displaying all the details, right? Account number, customer name, address, and bank balance. It's shown. And because we have the getters and setters here, if you want to do any changes to the values, you can do those changes via the methods, right? These are all legal ways of working with the data without making any harm to the object. We can nicely change the values that we want. Let's assume we want to update the address not from Mathale. Let's say that Mathale to Navalapiti you want to update. Then you write acc1 dot, you say set address, and you pass in the value Navalapiti. Right. Now after you do that change, you have to again call the reference variable, and you have to access the object. Again you can say show info. Right, now let's run that, and you can see this is before set address. Before set address, this is the details of the bank account. After setting the address, you can see the bank object data has got updated. There is no errors. This is how we work with the object. Only thing here is Akila, we are not visually working with this one. That's what we do. Okay, we are not visually working with this one. We
Yes.
are working with I mean in the command prompt or in the this prompt we are working. That is why it looks not very attractive like a GUI program. Okay, fine. I hope you can see the time is counting down. Less than 1.5 minutes is there. In between it will stop for the, so please log in again. Right.
Yes.
Okay, Akila, this is what I wanted to explain you last week. Let's put another custom method here. We'll see what if I wanted to save money, then I want to deposit the money. In order to deposit the money, you can say public void deposit, and here we will say public void deposit. We're going to say float AMT. Now we need to mention how much we are depositing. When you deposit, what will happen is the existing bank balance will get updated, which means to the existing bank balance, here balance is the data item, how much you have, to that we are adding the amount that we are saving now. That's what this does, but we have to do some validations. Anyways, this is fine. We'll have a method to withdraw money as well. Public void withdraw or withdraw cash. There also you need to mention the amount, how much we're going to withdraw.
Okay.
Right. So what we will do is we'll have a method to withdraw the cash as well. So let's say balance is having like this. From the balance we can deduct the amount that we are asking to withdraw. Okay, having that said in the screen, or having said that part mentioned in the program, we will test this program again. Right, you can go to the bank. Now you should understand, Akila, now we are actually like a real bank account. If you have, you will check your bank balance, you will deposit money, you will withdraw money, you can change your details if you really want to. That is what actually here it is happening. You are checking your details, you are changing your details, and again you are with depositing money. Let's say we want to deposit some money. SEC1 dot deposit, and we need to mention how much. I think already we have 50,000. Let's put another 25,000. Okay. After you do a change to the object, in other words, when you deposit money, if you really want to see the latest bank balance, you will have to again call the show info method. That is the method which shows the details of your object. Okay, that's the one which is showing the details of the object. So let's try this one and see. Shift F6. So now you can see the very first one is right after creating the object. then after changing the address, now here what we have done is, here we are depositing 25,000. After depositing 25,000, you can see the bank balance has got increased to 75,000. So that is what that has been done properly. Okay, and please
Okay, sir.
understand,
Yes, sir.
the way that I have done this one is not 100% correct. These methods are not 100% correct. It has a lot of flows. I last week also I told you in the physical class, we need to do a lot of updates here. One thing I'll show you here, I'll show you a flow here. Flow means there's a problem. What if you deposit minus 25,000, right? And you can see there is no errors coming. It is accepting that value, and when I execute this code, it's actually going to, instead of adding amount to the balance, it's going to deduct the amount, right? So if I run the program, my actual bank balance becomes 25,000, which should not happen with a depositing method. We should never be able to reduce the amount, right? Whenever you deposit cash, your bank account balance should go up. Am I right? Because depositing, when we do deposit, our amount that we are having in the balance should be higher, right? Is it clear, Akila?
Not clear, sir.
Right. Okay. So that part, if you want to get rid of this, what you got to do is we have to write a small validation code here. Even when you are depositing, you can say if AMT greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, you allow this to happen. Otherwise, no, nothing will happen. I didn't put any error code. If you want, you can put an error code. We can put like invalid balance, right? So that kind of a thing, the error message will come. We can put like that, right? Let's try now. We go here, and this time we'll put a small amount like minus 5,000, and let's run the program. And you can see, after setting the null value, you can see there had been an error has occurred because it has not actually updated the balance. It has not updated the balance. Instead, what it has done is, it has given an error message, and you can see your bank balance stays intact. In other words, it is not changed. It is not changed. Okay. And the withdrawing is also the same, because when you ask the amount to be withdrawn, write if amount is less than or equals to balance, then you can allow this thing to happen. Otherwise, if you request an amount which is above the bank balance, the bank will lose money, right? So you can write insufficient, I think double F. Okay, let's try this one again. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now this is depositing. After depositing, we'll try ACC1 dot withdraw. Now we know the maximum bank balance that we are having is 50,000. If the bank is allowing you to withdraw 50,000, then fine, you can give the 50,000. Let's give 75,000 rupees. Let's see whether we can do that transaction. After that, this transaction, I am trying to show my details again. Let's run that. You can see before the last displaying details, you can see error has again occurred. Insufficient balance has come, and your bank balance has not got changed anything, right? Now actually we have very properly done the code in Akila. You can see.
Okay, sir.
So this is almost a very complete program now. We have done parts very correctly, right? We will again fine tune a very little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the next part, then I will talk you through another concept. Okay, the next thing is, when you come to this one, I'll turn it off. We have something called Akila, features of OOP. First one is abstraction, which we already talked about it. Abstraction means what is necessary we take, and what is not necessary we leave out. What is not necessary we just leave out, because when you take about a bank customer, when you want to store data about a bank customer, see this. Now we have just identified the very most important data, which are account number, name, address, as well as balance. Now if you take data, we could have gone for some more information which are detailed information which is useful, like email address, telephone number. These kind of things could have been useful, but I haven't used them anyway. The other one is Akila, if you wanted,
Yes, sir.
you could have used something like his height, weight, skin color, complexion, blood group, uh, whether they have any disease conditions and all. Now those are also data for a human object, because it's going to belonging to a particular customer. Let's say this particular bank account holder's blood group is O negative, or this particular bank customer's blood group weight is 55 kg. That kind of a data is not useful in this context, which means in what do you call, in the banking environment, they don't use that data, do you? Because let's say your blood group is not going to be having any value when you're going to do the banking operations, like simply going to do with depositing, withdrawing, etc. When you do these kind of activities, I don't think that your blood group has a significant effect on the transactions. So things which are not useful, you simply leave them out, you don't take them, you don't consider them. Not only data but also the methods, you leave them what are not necessary. So that process is known as basically the abstraction. Okay, right. Abstraction, we
Yes,
don't
sir.
have to do anything in coding. It's just during the designing process we can do it. Coming to the next one, which has something called encapsulation, right? With the encapsulation, basically what you do is you try to hide data. Hiding information is a process. Okay, hiding information. Under hiding information, there are two things. One is hiding data. Next one, hiding implementation data. There are two things. One is hiding data. One is this. Another one is this. I'm going to demonstrate these things to you, so you will understand what is basically encapsulation means. Definition for the encapsulation we can write like this, like linking data and, sorry about that. Right. Linking data methods together is known as encapsulation. That is what basically encapsulation means. Okay, right? So that's what it
Okay,
does.
sir.
Now, if you take a look at the coding, you can see we have a data here. We have a data which is account number, name, address, and balance. For example, look at the balance data. Balance is a data name. If you go down here, get balance. Okay, inside these methods, these data items are used for some purpose. Now actually, show info method is used to display the details of the bank account, that particular bank's account details. When you are building this method, show info method, you are using this data item. In other words, you are closely linking the method and the data together. So that is happening. One thing is that. The other one is, if you take a look at these two methods, it's very obvious. Very obvious. You know, if you want to build the deposit method, you cannot actually build it without linking or without having any connections to the balance data. If you don't have the balance data here, what will happen is this deposit method is not possible to be coded. Okay, This is not possible to be coded. And you can see the withdraw method is also the same. When you want to withdraw cash or when you want to withdraw money, there also you can see without having the balance data item, this is impossible for you to build this method. So linking data and methods together is what is basically known as the encapsulation. When you are doing your coding work, you will include your data at the beginning for that particular class, and you will include the necessary methods here. Actually, your methods are a way or a legal way you are giving access to the data items so that users can make use of them in different ways, because they need to get access to these things, right? That is what you are doing via the methods. All right, now we'll talk about a problem. That's what the basic idea of the encapsulation is. Okay, Akila. Now
Yes, sir.
now I'm going to show you some these kind of things, hiding data and hiding implementation details. First of all, let's take about the hiding data part, which we have not done yet in this program. Okay, we haven't done the program hiding of data. When you're declaring a variable, you can write the variables as private, or you can declare them as public, or you can declare them as protected. These are called access modifiers, and in our case we have not used these three words: public, private and protected. We have not used these three terms. Instead, we have left them blank. We have just left them blank. What that means is your access level is default level. Your access level is default level. That's what it means, which means other programs, that means inside the same package, that means inside the same folder, other programs, other classes can access this data. Now that becomes a problem for you, because a bank account is something very sensitive information, bank balance and other details. If everybody having access to that direct access, there is no security. Now let's keep it as it is, as we coded. There is no security here. Let's go to the program here and let's try accessing it directly, right? Okay. Right. Now let's say acc1 dot, you can see I can access all these four data items here: account number, address, balance and name. I'm not interested in any of the other things. I'm just interested in the balance, so I'm going to change the balance directly. I'm writing a code in. I'm having the bank balance 50,000. I'm just going to add another two zeros. That's it. I'm doing, right? So when I add another two zeros, it becomes a big issue, right? 50,000 becomes 50 lakhs. So that becomes a big issue now. Let's say acc1 dot show info. There will be no errors. Let's take a look at the very last part. Now you can see there have been no errors here, and you can see the bank balance have gone up to 5 million. Problem is it is not a legal way that you did the coding. This kind of a way you have directly accessed the code, right? So this is actually
Yes.
bad coding practice, right? So that's a really bad coding, or that's a real bad design of your program. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so we should avoid this now, because this coding is allowing you to do this one. That doesn't mean you should create your program so vulnerable. Vulnerable means it's easy to launch an attack on it. We're going to fix that by doing something like this. Now we go to the account program, right? And instead of giving the default part, that means instead of using default, I'm going to use my word private. Now carefully observe the bank class here. No errors yet. There is no errors. There is no errors. No red color dot. The moment I save this program with private, see, I'm going to write again private here, and I'm going to save this. Did you see that the moment I save the file, there is an error comes in the bank program? See, there is error now. Let's see what's the error. Now when we go to this particular line, it says the error message is balance. Balance is the data item in the account class. Balance has private access in account. Account is the program name, so it is telling you the rule. Balance program is having private access, so don't do this, right? So you cannot do this. This is not a simple error. This is a syntax error. Now if you try to compile and run, you can't do that, right? It's not working. See, shift F6, so it's not running. See, there are errors coming, right? The program is uh, you cannot do that. Okay, so that's pretty bad programming. Okay, so there is syntax errors here. This is bad program, so I'll keep this one commented. So that gives you a lot of protection to your program via doing encapsulation. Okay, number two,
So,
since I told you something called linking data and methods together, Akila, when you do this one, right,
okay.
when you link the data and methods together, inside a method, how the task is carried out, how the task is carried out is hidden to the user. It is hidden to the user. So how the work is actually happening is not visible, or it's not what do you call, accessible to the user, right? So watch this, right? Let's go to I will say just take a look at a car's anatomy, right? This is, I'm not a automobile expert, but just telling you. Um, I'm not an expert to explain you, but we'll take a diagram like this. Mechanics of the car. Now you know the now you have the engine here. You have other things, like, so the parts are given, of course, no problem. Basically you have the brake, accelerator, and what is that, the clutch, right? So clutch, accelerator, and the brake you have here, three things. Let's say by the time the vehicle is moving, you are keeping your leg on the brake. You are pressing the brake pad. What happens is, you will see that the vehicle is slowing down, or vehicle starts stop. Is that understood, Akila, what I'm trying to tell? So
Yes.
right, and the steering wheel, if you take a left turn or a right turn, you will be realizing the vehicle is taking a left or a right turn, respectively. uh, that is really observe. And when there's a vehicle you want to pass by, let's say you want to horn, then you press the horn button, the horn will signal that. The thing is the thing is what I want to tell you is, how this internally working inside the car is totally hidden for the users right now. Like this will be the dashboard where the driver will be seated, and he will be simply using the this is, I think, in a foreign car. This is, they are having the left side driver seat. So when you are doing the driving, what happens is, you will be just interacting with the vehicle at an interface level. Like, this is an interface to turn the car left and right, so that's the steering wheel, and the indicator lights will be there, buttons will be there, and the clutch will be here. I mean, the gear will be there, you can change them. So how the gear changes from first to second to third to fourth, that internally there is a working going on. Do you understand, Akhil, what I'm trying to tell you? Inside the car there is a lot of work will go. For example, you change the gear, you do something called change gear first to second. That's all you
Mm-hmm.
do. But inside that there is a
Yes.
process happening, inside that. The It has to properly, the wheels have to correct, it has to correctly, the gear wheels have to set, then it has to properly work. In
Yes.
internal how it is working, no one is having an expertise knowledge on that, because every driver, if you take, he or she is not a motor mechanic expert. They are just drivers. Even if I'm using my motorcycle, even I don't know how to even change my tire. I mean, I alone I can't do it. I can't remove the brake cables, and I can't, on my own I can't do the oiling and everything. Because, but what I do is, if I want to brake my bike, if I want to stop the bike, I put the brake, I hold the brake, right? That I squeeze those levers. That's what I do. And I will be
Yes.
experiencing my bike is slowing down. So that is the level of interaction that we are having. So you will be interacting with the object in an interface level. You just execute the methods which is necessary to perform the operations. That's all. You don't internally what is happening, it is none of our business. Here we just type acc1 dot show info. That's all. You just give show info, and rest of the thing it will do the work. Okay, Akila, do you understand? I can connect
Okay,
this.
sir.
I can connect this program to a GUI program and do, if you want, right? So it will send the values to the this one and get the values back. It will do nicely. But we will do a different example with a GUI later, right? I just wanted to make the point very clear to you, Akila, so that encapsulation is well understood. Is it clearly understood, Puda? One thing
Yes, sir.
is, one thing we can make the data hidden. The other thing we can, how the process is done inside the program, we hide that one also. The advantage of doing that one is, Akila, it reduces the complexity. Obviously, if you take a look at the car, the dashboard looks very simple and very elegant. You just sit there, some interfaces are there in order to access the features of the car. That's all you do. How to do those things. That's all what you even need to do the riding part or the driving part. That's it. Internally, how the things are happening, no one is worried about, or no one is doing any work on it. So here the parts are separately shown. I assume that that part is enough, Akila. That what the discussion what we took on encapsulation will be enough. And next part is known as there's another one. For the previous batches, I didn't teach all these things, Puta. I mean encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, everything I did not teach. If you take our class now, we have spent in the recording, of course, only 56 minutes only got recorded. Okay, Akila, which
Okay.
means
Okay.
we roughly have another about 1 hour time. So
Yes, sir.
in that time, I can finish this to you. Okay. So let us not
Okay.
waste the time. We will learn that part. Okay. Time so we'll
Yes.
do that part, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's understand then what is the next one, which is polymorphism. Polymorphism is there, and we have inheritance. Okay, I'm not going to go to detail into this inheritance. uh, we can do in whatever the order that we want. I like to do the inheritance first, then we will do the polymorphism part. Basically inheritance means um, if you have a existing class, okay, from that existing class you can create another class, right? This process is known as inheritance. There's a notation for that, that's why I'm drawing like this. So one side you will have a triangle shape, the other side just a head like this. So Akila, if I put here, you can have something like a shape. If you have a class called shape class, and you can have a rectangle. Yeah, it's possible for you to do. Or else if you have a clock class, now you know object-oriented programming is closer to real life. Clock class, we can have a uh, alarm clock. Now if you take a look at this particular class and this particular class, you have a relationship between these two types of classes. If I say alarm clock uh, is a kind of or type of clock, that statement is right. Isn't that the relationship that you have? Because alarm clock is a type of clock. Okay, and even I can put another relationship. If I want, I can show you. Now let's take this one to this side. uh, So again, Puta, if you take a look at this one, I'm going to put another example just to explain you this term. Alarm clock is a kind of clock, or alarm clock is a type of clock. If you put another type of a program here, let's say shape, and you can put a rectangle here, or a oval, or a triangle. If you say the same sentence here, you can say rectangle is a type of shape. That sentence is correct. Is that right? That statement is right.
Yes, sir.
And one more example, if you take a vehicle, and you can have a car or a lorry or a van or a bus. You can have anything that you want. So again, car is a type of vehicle. So in the real life, we have relationship like this in between the programs. Therefore, what we do is we can implement this relationship in our program as well. Okay, so that is what I wanted to tell you. Well, uh, one of this one, Akila, we will try to code and see now. There are few
Yes.
things. If you take a look at this one, you will realize we have two types of classes actually in our programs, which is actually you have classes called abstract classes and concrete classes. Abstract means it's basic summary like abstract classes we have, and we opposite of that thing is concrete classes. Uh, concrete means real life instances available. In the real life you will see examples, so in instances are available, whereas abstract classes, they cannot have instances. I'll tell you an example. For example, Pratha, if you take this particular relationship here, if you say vehicle or shape, now you can find a car object, different types of cars you can find, bikes, lorries, van, flights, ships, carts, lot of things you can find, but there is no a particular object. There is no particular object just called vehicle. Can you find, if you think about that one a little bit, you will understand there is no direct object called vehicle object. Do you understand, Akila, what I'm trying to tell?
Yes, sir.
Shape is also like that. You can draw an oval, rectangle, circle, square, right, parallelogram, right, so whatever cylinder shape, whatever the shape you want, you can draw, but there is no direct object or example called shape. If I ask you to draw a shape, what will you draw? There is no predefined shape, right? Now if I ask you, okay, draw a triangle, you can draw something like that. If I ask you to draw a square, you will draw like this. That's fine, but you can't draw a shape. But this relationship is true. Any of these rectangle, square, rectangles, even a parallelogram, all these things are is a type of shape. That's true. They are type of shape. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a code in. I'm going to do a code in, and I'm going to implement something like this from a class like this, right? I'll show you. So let's go here. Let's close these two examples. Let's build one more new program. I'm going to create a new program, right? So Java class. I'm going to create this program as fine. It's we can create it in one program. I will say demo. Demo. What is this? Inheritance. Inheritance. Right. My program is like that. Okay. This is a public class inheritance. We will keep it down. Up here, I can create another class, but I can't type the word public. I will just type class. Let's create class shape. Okay, class shape.
Yes, sir.
And you know, a class, nothing but it has data and methods, right? It will have data and methods. Right, so I'm hoping to put things there, and this data I will put string name. Let's say just shape. It doesn't have an actual shape, it's just shape, right? And down here we're going to say method. Every shape we should be able to draw. Am I right? Okay, public
Yes,
void
sir.
draw. We can say draw. So, but you know, uh, this method I cannot implement. How will you draw this shape? Can you draw, right? Because we don't have a shape, right? Shape right? We cannot draw. So just you can have it like a placeholder. Understand? Right.
Yes.
uh,
Yes, sir.
in upcoming class means in the upcoming example I'll show you, we can write it like this, public void like this, so this becomes public abstract, right? You can have it like an abstract method. Abstract method means it doesn't have a body, it only says the method is there like this, right? So I will without confusing you, I'll write public void draw, and I'll keep it blank. I'll say should be overridden in the subclass. It should be overridden. That's all. Okay, so this is end of shape class. I'll keep a space and I'll create class. Let's say rectangle. right? Rectangle. Now I want to tell, if I just
Right.
create just like this rectangle class, there is no relationship between uh, shape class and the rectangle class. There is no relationship between those two programs. In order to tell the computer that the rectangle class is a subclass or is a type of shape, you have to use a keyword called extends shape. So this is a new keyword that you're learning called extends, right? Extends shape. So we are making a sub program or sub class or sub child program using the shape existing program. Existing program is shape. We are using a new program called, we are creating a new program or a class called rectangle by using the keyword extends. So what this does is, all the data and all the methods in the shape program or in the shape class will be available here. Will be available here. Right. To tell you that, I will write something like this. This is actually wrong. We'll say I shouldn't implement it. Uh, Nothing to draw. So you can't draw this, right? Okay. Now I haven't coded anything here, have I? I have not coded anything. Neither, Akila. Can you see that?
Yes.
Now, see what I'm going to do. I'm going to create the main method here, public void main. Then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do inside here, I'm going to create an object of the rectangle class. Right, rectangle, rect, right, so that's the reference variable. Then I'm going to say rect dot, see, rect dot draw. And of course I need to create an object of this one, so we'll say rect is assign the value new rectangle. And here Akila, this I'm calling the constructor method of the rectangle class, and if you closely observe, neither the rectangle class nor the shape class has the constructor method coded. Constructor method means what? A method which is having the same name as the class name. We do not have such a method either in shape or in rectangle class. Then if you have a doubt where does this rectangle constructor method comes from, then Java automatically provides that constructor method in the case that you have not supplied a constructor method. If we haven't given a constructor method to the program, Java can automatically give you the default constructor. So this is called the default constructor. We did not create that one, Akila. It is the default one. Okay, so that's also done. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this now. Where is it? Right, now I'm going to access the draw method. Now you can see the rectangle class is basically empty. Can you see there is nothing coded? There is nothing coded, but I have created an object from rectangle class. Okay, I created object from rectangle class. Now the rectangle class objects draw method I am accessing. That shows that this draw method from its superclass, which is the shape, because rectangle class is the subclass, child class, which is getting created using the shape class. This is the parent class. From this class only we are creating the subclass rectangle. Please remember, all the data and the methods of the superclass automatically comes available to the subclass. Okay, it automatically becomes available to the subclass. So that is why it is available in the this program part. Okay, so that's what I wanted to
Yes.
mention there. But that, right, so if you run this one, actually you will see nothing to draw part will come on the screen. See, I did not create an object from shape. I did not call the method of draw. Sorry, I did not call the draw method of the shape class, but I did create an object from rectangle class. I call the method draw. So where does this draw come from? Because it comes from its superclass. If I don't have this one, if I cut this one, you will see there will be error coming. Now for the draw method, there is error coming. See, cannot find symbol method draw inside the rectangle class. There is no draw method created. That is why this error is coming now. So when you say extends shape, when you say rectangle class is a subclass of shape class, that error is gone. Right, now we'll make work on this one. Right, I'm going to give a proper name for the thing. Let's say name is assigned the value. I will give name is assigned the value rectangle. See, I'm sorry, I need to have a method so that inside that one I will be able to access it. We will write the method public void draw. Now actually this is known as Akila, this is known as overriding. Okay, this is called the overriding.
Okay, sir.
There are things called so you can put this annotation. These are called annotations. So this indicates that this method is belonging to its superclass and we are overriding it in this line number 14 onwards. You can't just put this override annotation to any method that you like, because if it is available in superclass and if you try to override only, it's going to come. Let's say this is called you say you capital D, the if you put, now see there's error coming here. Did you notice that there's a error coming here?
Yes, sir.
Line number 15, it says there is no such method there, right? Okay, so that allows you to not make mistakes if you use the draw override annotation, right? Anyway,
Yes.
let it be there. That's the proper way to do the code. Well, inside this one you can give a new particular implementation for the existing draw method. That is what is called overriding. Existing method of the superclass you're going to modify, you're going to extend, you're going to improvise, and you can do the things. So let's do the coding like this. I will put s out. Before that, we'll give a name for the right. Let's continue. I was going to tell you now this name variable actually comes from its superclass, right? So in the shape class we have the name part and we are accessing it. I'm giving a new name here, rectangle, right? I say here we're going to say drawing shape. We're going to give the name. Then let's draw a shape like this. I'm not going to draw a real one. Let's assume that is a rectangle. Now what we can do is, if you run the project now, it will draw a rectangle. Okay, now see, it is not showing that its old method, because we have given a new implementation detail that is called the overriding from its superclass. So when you create a superclass, you can have the common data and methods which are common for its objects, common for its subclasses. Actually inheritance helps you to code less, reuse the code a lot. Okay, I can do something meaningful for you, but it'll take time. I'll take only the discussion with you and I'll finish it off. Now Buddha, if you have a system where you want to create something, like let's say you are creating an inventory control system. Okay, in an inventory control
Okay, sir.
system you have stock, so you want to sell the items, right? So let's say we call all the things commonly, we'll call them as stock, or you call them as item, or you call them as material. I like to call them as material. Material means whatever I have for sale. Stock item, that's what I'm saying, material. Okay, in my shop I have items to sell, right? So each of these boxes are telling what are those things. Let's assume that I have a computer hardware shop. I'm going to sell the items. um, so all these items are going to be subclasses, all of them going to be subclasses. um, right, now we have a subclass here. This is the notation which tells these are subclasses. I have a hard disk drive to sell. I have a computer screen to sell. Means types of things, right? Let's say I have RAM to be sold. What else? I have a USB keyboard to be sold. in my shop, if you take screen is the type of material, RAM is the type of material, keyboard is the type of material, hard disk drive is the type of material. All these items in my shop have common data and common methods they can have. All these items can be purchased. All these items can be what do you call, to the stock. We can um, add new stock, right? We can add new stock,
Right, sir.
we can sell them, all these kind of things we can do. So those data and methods going to be very common to all these things. I have just put four of them. If we do not have a setup like an inheritance type of a thing, Buddha, what will happen is, now for example, I'll put something only important few data in the super class, like every item will have item code, am I right? because uh, because product has a product code, right? Item code or a product code.
Yes.
And it will have a description or a title, right? And it will have price, and it will have the stock balance, in other words the quantity, what, how much you have it in the balance, how many rams do we have, right? Let's say quantity, or we'll say stock balance, STBL. I put four data here. If you take these four data, it is common for hard disk drive, screen, RAM, even for keyboard. And in a hardware computer shop, computer hardware shop, you will have hundreds of items for a sale, right? For all these items you can have this one. Now, if you do not have a setup like this, these four data have to be manually coded here, manually coded here, here, and here. 16 lines of code you have to do. Here you are doing only once, and you can easily recode the other things. Is that understood, Akila? What I'm trying to
Yes,
tell
sir.
you, right? So that's the benefit, but that's the advantage that the in encapsulation will bring to you when you're trying to create subclasses from existing superclasses, or a parent class and the child class. So that's, I just wanted to glimpse of a part. I just wanted to touch what do you mean by encapsulation. Sorry, I'm sorry, not encapsulation, inheritance. From an existing superclass we create a subclass, which is that methodology, or that process is known as inheritance. Okay, take this example. Last week we created, not last week, before that week we created something called the J form, right? J frame form. Let's say I'm going to create something like GUI demo. Now take a look at this, right? Okay, I'm not going to do anything crazy there, right? Let's just add a button here. I'm having the metal look and feel, by the way. That's why it looks like that. Your one is having Nimbus, I guess. I have two buttons like this, Akila. What we're going to do is, I mean, I'm not interested in doing a code on this. If I execute the program, you will see it's coming, right? No problem. It's here. Now this is Nimbus. Now it won't work anyways. We have created an interface. In order to create this interface, we know we have to do coding. We have to do some code. Now if you go to the code, we are not interested in everything. Just take a look at the first line. Public class GUI demo. That's the program I created. Next to that, see the same program name. Extends. We learned now, right? Extends. Extends keyword is used to create a new program from an existing program. So here, by the time you install Java, Java gets installed with a huge class libraries. So we call them as APIs. So we have a huge amount of classes getting installed in the program automatically. So those programs, we need to access them. We can access those programs whenever we need them. That is what is happening. So JFrame is already having that window look and feel. Visual part is, everything is there. We are just accessing it, right? We just give the command and we just access it. I hope you understand that, Akila. Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Right. So
Yes.
that's another place where you're making use of the inheritance, right? Okay. Right, that would be enough, and we got some more time left. Let's do, before we do pro this one, uh, we can create data and methods, and we can call them, right? So I created one program, the account and the bank program. I created and I accessed it and properly showed you how to work with the object. Let me very quickly do one more example on that. After that, if time permits, I will do polymorphism as well. With this one lesson, Akila, we can conclude these lessons. Which lesson? um, the double OP part 10, we can conclude it, and then the next class we can have the assignment discussion, right? We can have the assignment
Okay, sir.
discuss With the assignment discussion, there is another small part I will explain you, which is coding standards and the debugging part. So those two things will take maximum like 20 minutes to half an hour is enough for me to explain that concept to you, that I am hoping to do by the time explaining the assignment to you. Okay, rest of the things you can do
Yes, sir.
using the knowledge that you have already gained through the semester, right? Okay, I'm going to create a new program and explain you this matter, because I'm going to create something a bit useful, and I'm going to use this one in a normal command prompt program, and then I'm going to use the same program in a GUI program also. So you will realize when you create your double OP programs, it's you can make it use it any place that you like. Okay, right, watch this. Let's create a simple calculator. It's going to be very simple one, nothing fancy. In this one, I'm going to just add just two methods. Public void, let's say add numbers, um, right, int number, right. So I'm teaching you something. Uh, you haven't seen a for loop like this, have you, Puda? You haven't done it, because
Yes, sir.
so we need to make use of things that we can learn new things next. So that's what I was doing like this. So actually, the method that you see here, we haven't learned it before, how to create these things, because we didn't learn about arrays and all these kind of things. But this particular method, if you are using this particular method, you can send any number of numbers, and you can do the calculation. So it might be sounding bit uh, crazy, but it's nothing like that. So let's say int dot is assign the value 0, dot equals dot plus n, that's all, and we're going to display as out. Right, now we have a method like this, right? I can have a main method inside the same program, and I can execute this, but I'm not going to do it. I will have another method, Akila, public. This time I like to have a value return, get area circle. I'm going to find the area of a circle, and I'm going to get it. Actually, I want it in double, right? Um, so input can be, we can get it float, no problem. Float radius we're going to have. Inside this, I'm going to have float area is assigned the value. Float math dot pi into math dot pi into radius into radius. Then you can say return area. We can do like that, return area. That's all the code I have written. But now math is a built-in class, Akila. I'm using the pi value which comes along with the math class, and I'm just multiplying a value that I'm giving here. This method is a bit useful for us, right? Okay. Now this program, I'm not going to do anything else in this program. I'm going to create another program. Right click, new class. Let's create a teacher. Let's say a school teacher or a teacher will make use of a calculator. That's why I code it like that. Now we need to create, whoever uses that, you need to have a method has to call another method, one method has to call another method, so that you can build the interaction between these objects. For that, I'm going to say calculator, assign the value new calculator, like this. And again, Akila, this is the default constructor, we did not code it, Java automatically gives that. Sorry. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to say cal dot, see, add numbers, we can see. Now if you want, you can give 4 comma 4 comma 5 comma 5 comma 20, no problem. It will tell you what is the total if I run. See, I run, total is 38, and this time I want to give you didn't learn this one earlier. 60 comma 60 comma 60 comma 180. It is finding the total of the numbers that you give. So this method allows you to accept any number of parameters in that particular type. Okay, but I have written a for each
Okay, sir.
code. Now for each means this is actually it's a array. Array means a list of items. This for is known as a for each loop, or it is also called an advanced for loop. Okay, in Java, usually you write a for loop with three parts. Here you don't see like that. Here we have written for int n. This is an integer type n variable we take, colon, and we say the array or that list which is came in. So every item that you have in that list, or here we are sending a list of items to the 50, 50, 50, 180. So altogether 4 items. So numbers are representing 50, 50, 50, 180. That particular thing is what is represented by numbers. Therefore, this loop will work exactly 4 times because we have 4 items here. So for each item, listen to my words carefully again. For each item that is available in this numbers list, this loop will iterate once. As long as there is one more item left, it repeats the loop. It repeats the loop. It repeats the loop. Each time when it goes, it takes this item, next time this item, next this, and finally this one. Therefore, this loop will work 4 times without a problem. That is how this works. Okay. And we have the get circle method, which is returning a float value. Let's try that one as well. Now the teacher is using the program. Teacher is using the program. We're going to say float AR, assign the value. We can say cal dot get area circle. So you can tell 5.5 f. That's the radius I'm giving. Or you can again tell area to, this time you say 25.69. You can give the values and you can print this value. Area first time it is AR, and again you can do AR2. Now if I run this one now, you will see. Now take a look at this one. Those methods are getting called, and you are nicely getting the area of a circle. We are finding the circle area. See, it's nicely working. Akhil, is that clear to you, Buddha?
Yes, sir.
Right, now this is in a useful way I did it, because I am doing this one because you have the assignment part. In the assignment LO2, you have to recode the exercise which is given in LO1 in object oriented programming and event driven programming. Event driven programming, the GUI part is very easy. Object oriented, how to do is what I am explaining you now. This is previously I explained you one example, which is account class and the bank class. I explained you these two now earlier. Now I explained you how to build a
Okay.
calculator program. This is also an object oriented program, and how to access that here. So 2 examples I have done. Okay, to be on the safe
Okay.
side, let me go to the GUI demo also. In this GUI demo, let me delete these things. I will connect this to our 700 by 40. By 40. Well, what we will do is we can run that. It will work on, oh, it's 400. 700 by 400.
So for
Right, it's working. Now, Buddha, let's see how we can access the area of a rectangle. Not area of a rectangle, area of a circle. Actually, Akila, I'm not going to do the coding inside this program. Okay, carefully watch that. So my
okay, sir.
interface
Okay,
is
sir.
that. So this one I'm going to type. So we're going to calculate that thing. change that to enter circles radius. I'll change the font so that it will be visible. Right, other things no big deal, but okay, it's not nice to make these things bigger, but in order to clearly see that I just did it. So let's clean this, give a name, ptn cal, ptn clear. Let's give this one txt radius, this one txt area. Right, now Akila, I'm going to double click this program. Now see, this is the GUI program. I don't have anything to do calculations of the area of a circle. All I'm going to do is I'm going to create an object. You can see my GUI demo program and the calculator program. These both programs are inside the same folder. In other words, they are inside the same package, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create that part, calculator cal, right? We create the calculator object, and we can get the work like done like this. We first of all will say float radius, assign the value txt radius dot get text. You can remember Akila, last class I taught you how to convert a
Yes,
value
sir.
which is come from this one to float value. So we say float dot pass float. We convert that to floating point value. Then what we do is now what we can do is we can say float ar or something is assign the value cal dot get area of a circle. We pass in the radius, and here Buddha, you can see that particular class object we are creating inside the GUI program. So GUI is there only as the interface. Actually finding the calculation part or finding the area of the circle actually happens inside the calculator object. It is not happening inside the GUI demo. That is how you are just making use of your UI part. UI user interface part is there. This is just to get the inputs from the user and get the work done behind the scene and bring the output back to the screen. So this is actually working only as the interface for you to do the work. Watch this. We got the stuff. Now we can display it. So when you want to display something, you say string dot value of that's it. Those are the programs. So Putha, why I did this code to you or why I showed you this one, definitely this will be useful in your assignment. If you if you can handle this one, if I will give you the sample code now to you, you can practice and see in your PC. Today itself you practice and finish it. If you have time, Akila, then it's done. I will send you the files
Okay.
now. Through the WhatsApp I'll send you now. Okay, you can practice and
Okay.
finish it off. Let's run this one and see. Shift F6. So you can see Buddha, now interface is not doing anything. Now let's type something like 5.5 and we'll calculate. There we go, we get it nicely. See, now it's more useful, like, isn't it? But actually, if you take the GUI program, this is only the interface. Actually, the big calculation is taking place inside your calculator program, not inside the GUI program. So this is what is called the build the business logic, how the program actually functions. Those logics and everything you build it in the program. And that's how you do it, Puta. And later when you are coming to APDP, you will be learning a design pattern called MVC, which stands for model, view, and controller. Model view control or model view controller. So an application, you divide it into these three things, and each of them can communicate with each other. And usually some modules in between the view part and the um, model part, they don't actually know each other. They are individual programs. Through the control will do the work and it will get the things done. Usually this is done in web applications and all. Model view controller is a very popular design pattern that you use. Okay, so this is a type of thing that we are trying to achieve there. The interface is there as the controller part, and you have the calculations actually happening in the here, in the calculator object, right? Hope you understood that part, Pudha. Is that clearly
Yes,
understood
sir.
today's lesson? How was it?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Lesson you understood well, right?
Yes.
Don't leave, right? I will stop the session now, right? Okay.